Imagine, just to chase two robbers, the world's busiest metropolis, Manhattan, had to be quarantined. All bridges were closed, tunnels were blocked, and no one could enter or exit. Hey, howdy movie lovers. Welcome back to my latest movie story. Yes, today we're going to reveal the plot of a super thrilling action crime film that paralyzes an entire island overnight. It's a relentless manhunt where the real enemy is much closer than we thought. This is a recap of the plot of 21 Bridges. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. Story begins with the introduction of an NYPD detective named Andre Davis. Davis has a reputation for being quick to pull the trigger. Because of this, he's frequently investigated by internal affairs, having shot and killed 8 suspects in the past 9 years. Davis's father was also a police officer who was killed in the line of duty, an event that shaped his hardline stance on crime.
When I read...
Later that night in Brooklyn, 2 former soldiers, Michael and Ray, are preparing to rob a wine warehouse. Their target is 30 kilograms of cocaine.
Not smart. You guys are gonna die.
Their target was 30 kilograms of cocaine. But when they finally got inside, they were shocked. It turned out the cocaine inside wasn't 30 kilograms, but 300 kilograms. Much more than they expected.
This stuff hasn't been cut yet. This is for you. You can help or you can watch.
As they were confused, 4 police cars suddenly arrived at the scene. Without warning, a brutal gunfight ensues. Michael and Ray, with their military training, managed to overthrow all the police there. They escaped with only 50 kilograms of cocaine, leaving a horrific trail of carnage. The case of the murder of 8 police officers immediately became big news. Detective Andre Davis is assigned to lead the investigation. He meets Captain McKenna, the captain of the 85th District, whose men were recently massacred, and a narcotics detective, Frankie Burns, who is assigned to assist him.
Figure us out. We start, we move fast. Car's not ours, so just stop. We good? We should kill ourselves.
Davis had a crazy plan. To prevent the 2 robbers from escaping, he requested permission to close all access to Manhattan Island. This meant closing all 21 bridges, all tunnels, and even the Riverwalk until 5 a.m. It was the largest manhunt in New York City history.
Something will go wrong, and then you're off.
We get the...
Wait, is that a yes or no?
Catch them by 5.
Stop every train that leaves the island, eh?
Meanwhile, Michael and Ray have made it into Manhattan and met with their contacts to launder the money and cocaine they stole.
Bring us to Hawk, and we're gonna sell it ourselves. That wasn't 30 keys stepped on, it was 300 pure. What?
Davis and his team managed to track the robbers' abandoned car and found their trail.
What's going to the chassis?
5 blocks, not to Manhattan.
2 sets of tires.
On the other hand, Michael and Ray go to the drug dealer's place to sell it to get cash.
The bid you put out was for 30 keys. 50 kilos.
However, while they were making a transaction, a group of police suddenly stormed the place.
We think I you because someone...
Surprisingly, the police who arrived weren't Davis's team. Another shootout ensued. The drug dealer was killed, but before he died, he asked Michael to retrieve some flash drives from his computer. Ray was shot and they were forced to separate.
One what?
Davis, hearing the news of the gunfight on the radio, was immediately suspicious. How could another police team know the robber's location, even though he was the one leading the operation?
We got split up. I'll see you in Miami.
Frankie Burns and Davis separated. Davis chased Ray. When Ray couldn't run anymore after being shot in the exchange of fire with Davis, he surrendered and pointed his gun at Davis, who was chasing him. Davis easily shot Ray dead. Michael managed to take Frankie Burns hostage and pointed his gun at him. Davis eventually found Michael holding Frankie Burns hostage.
It makes any sense.
Michael shouted that this was all a trap, that there must be a dirty cop involved. Because to move 300 kilograms of cocaine, you need the police or the cartel on your side, he said. He also mentioned the flash drive he was holding.
Give what?
Andre?
All he said was 8-5.
And finally, Michael managed to escape. Sensing something was wrong, Davis ordered Michael captured alive. Well, here, Davis has given a clear order. Capture Michael alive. He's fully aware that there's something very strange about this case. Okay, guys, I have to be honest with you all here. The files for the rest of the film are completely corrupted and cannot be recovered. It's a bummer, but don't worry. I'll continue the story. Just pretend I'm telling a story. Empty your minds and use your imaginations, because the final chapter of this story is going to be even more exciting and full of surprises. So, after Davis gave the order, Michael, a former soldier, certainly didn't give up easily. With his cunning, he managed to create chaos and escape the police encirclement. He ran through the dark alleys of Manhattan and finally managed to find a hideout in a cheap hotel room. Inside the dimly lit room, the first thing he did was turn on his battered laptop and plug in the flash drive he'd taken from the money launderer. He opened the files inside, and that's where everything came to light. The flash drive wasn't just any data. It contained a list of the names of corrupt cops from the 85th District, complete with proof of drug money transfers. And do you know whose name was at the top? Their leader? Yup. It was none other than Captain McKenna. It turned out that the 300 kilograms of cocaine belonged to McKenna and his men. The robbery carried out by Michael and Ray had actually disrupted these cops' illegal business. The first police officers to arrive at the robbery scene and die were not good cops, but rather McKenna's crooked associates who wanted to secure their goods. Crazy, right? Meanwhile, the police began to surround Michael's hotel hideout. But once again, Michael managed to escape through an emergency window and run to the subway station. This is where the final chase ensued. Davis finally caught up with him, and they both boarded the same train car. In the fast-moving, deserted car, they pointed guns at each other. The atmosphere was incredibly tense. Michael, breathless, explained everything he had discovered. He said, "I'm not the one hunting the police. They're the ones hunting me." Michael was about to hand the flash drive over to Davis, the only cop he seemed to still trust. But suddenly, bang! Michael was shot in the chest, and the shooter was Detective Frankie Burns, who suddenly appeared among the other train cars. Before he died and took his last breath, Michael, with the last of his strength, managed to slip the flash drive into Davis's hands without Burns's knowledge, and Michael died. Morning arrived, the night-long manhunt was over. Davis and Burns were hailed as heroes for stopping the cop killers. But Davis remained silent, his face stone cold, for he now knew the terrible truth. That night, Davis didn't return home. He went to one place, Captain McKenna's mansion. There, Davis confronted McKenna directly. He placed the flash drive on the table. Caught red-handed, McKenna finally confessed everything. He and his men had been running this business for a long time to make extra money. He even tried to bribe Davis into joining. Davis, of course, refused. And that's when the door burst open. All the dirty cops from the 85th District, including Frankie Burns, entered and surrounded Davis with guns. McKenna gave the order to kill Davis, but they were all gravely mistaken, underestimating the detective. A final, brutal gunfight erupted inside the house, one against many. Davis, with his uncanny skill, moved swiftly from room to room. One by one, the dirty cops fell at his hands. The fight ended in a fierce duel between Davis and McKenna, and finally, Davis managed to shoot the corrupt captain dead. The film ends with Davis walking out of the house alone as the sun begins to rise. He has survived the longest night of his life, clutching a flash drive in his hand, the evidence he will use to clean up the police force from within. It was a long and tiring night, but justice has finally been served. Okay, friends, after watching this thrilling story, it turns out that 21 Bridges isn't just about shooting. This film also contains several messages that can motivate us. This is the most powerful message from Andre Davis's character. He was surrounded by lies and dirty cops, and he had the easy choice to comply or turn a blind eye. However, he chose a much more difficult path, the path of truth. This teaches us that no matter how difficult the situation, having integrity and the courage to stand up for what is right is the most valuable thing. So, that's it, folks. The entire storyline of 21 Bridges. It was a long and tense night for Detective Davis. Thank you for sticking with me until the end. What do you think you would do if you were in Davis's shoes? Would you take the bribe and live in peace? Or would you dare to fight it all alone? Let us know your honest opinions in the comments below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell to encourage me to make more exciting movie recaps. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.